of NASCAR DFS preview. I'm AustYn with the Sports Chief, and we're doing something different this week. We're actually going to Daytona, the road course at Daytona. So this race was scheduled initially for Watkins Glen. They're not racing up in New York, so Daytona Motor Speedway allowed NASCAR to come there to do the road course there. This is the first ever road course race, I guess, at Daytona for the NASCAR Cup Series, since you could consider maybe the Daytona Beaches back in, probably the 40s, 50s. So, going to be really interesting, and all that we have to build off of is track history, right? Well, that's thrown away, being that they've never ran a race here. You have other series, like the sports car series I guess that's correct. But, you have those other series that run these events at Daytona. So, you got the 24-hour race, Rolex. So, we're going to be looking at those events, kind of, and there are a couple drivers that have that experience in the sports cars. One thing to note, it's the Go Bowling 235, and there's 14 turns on the track. You have a decent amount of right-handers in there. You have mostly lefts. Not a lot of straightaway speed, actually. I mean, straightaways in general. You have, like, the back stretch, I believe, is a little bit of a straight. You have a slight left on the corners and in the turns. So they are using those high banks at Daytona, so you're going to see a lot of speed as well. So horsepower is going to be really key, but you have to maneuver this track fairly well. The Xfinity race is actually coming on here soon, so we'll get to see kind of how that is. And I debated on whether waiting until that to give you good analysis. I think I'm just going to go ahead and jump in and go for it. So the tire model that they're using as well is going to be the same that they used at Watkins Glen last season, so those results are very key. Sonoma, you have the Watkins Glen, Sonoma, and the Roval, right? So Sonoma is more of a technical track. Watkins Glen's more speed, and so is the Roval. So the Roval and Watkins Glen were the tracks that I used in making my formula to pick the best drivers that I possibly could, and to see what DraftKings has given us. They have 7 sets of tires for this race, so that's pretty key. So yeah, let's just go ahead and check it out. Oh, they also have rain tires, which not a lot of experience with rain tires as far as analysis. So let's just go ahead and see what DraftKings has here. So as you can tell, Ryan Blaney starting in 24th. They used a weird formula this week. It was based off of finish, average lap speed, and something else, some weird thing. Personally, I don't know why they don't just have 40 names in a hat and just draw, and then, if one of the back guys gets the pole, they get the pole. I think at that point they should just do it like that. That would be interesting. That'd be totally random. But we have Ryan Blaney starting in 24th. He's at 11,000. Brad Keselowski starting in 17th at 10.6. Chase Elliott starting in 7th at 10.3. And our fourth and final 10K driver is Martin Truex Jr. at 10.1. Very interesting, because you have 2 of those drivers are probably the top road course drivers in the Cup Series. So that's pretty key. Kyle Busch, he's in 4th at 9.8. He actually has some Rolex experience. So do other drivers, but he does as well. So, like I said, the biggest thing that I'm looking for when I heard that they're using the same tire at Watkins Glen, that's pretty important. The crew chiefs have a little bit to go off of in that regard. And, if they have ran a different race, it's different cars, a different race at this track. So it's different cars, different handling. NASCAR cars are known for having high weight and high horsepower. They're very strong, but they're as far as running it at a road course, it's pretty tough because it's a lot of weight to maneuver in those corners. And so that's going to be interesting to see. But anyway, looking at this, Ryan Blaney is going to be very chalky in 24th. Brad might be, but Ryan Blaney is very good at road courses, actually. Well, he's pretty solid. One driver that I noted, though, as I'm scrolling through here, and to me, you can actually consider all the way down to all of our drivers. I mean, I probably wouldn't go Quinn Houff, but, I think you should consider everyone. How about Stanton Barrett making a return? That's pretty interesting. You can look at all the drivers. So, one driver that I saw that's starting in 27th is Alex Bowman. I'm scrolling through here, and I'm like, well, Alex Bowman, 27th, that's really high. How is Bowman what is his record at road courses? Because I'm not really 100% sure. So I go on Racing Reference. That's one of my tools. Racing Reference, J-Ski gives you a lot of information in terms of the technical side of it. But Alex Bowman is actually a very decent road course driver. So his average finish at the Roval is third, which he hasn't won there, but he's finished in the top 5 in both starts. They've only ran 2 starts. Actually went to the first Roval, and I remember he was in the top 5, and I saw Jimmy and Truex get into it, and then Blaney came away with the win. That was pretty interesting. Anyway, so I got Bowman in 27th. He's at 8.2. That's really cheap, and I think that's a great value. I think he's just as valuable as those guys up top. But remember, we only have 65 laps. So laps led are not that important. They are, but they're not going to make or break you, I don't think. I think that the cars passed are going to be your big, big things to look at. So I'm going Alex Bowman in 27th. Pretty easy choice for me. Now I have 8,300. I have a good amount to spend. Another good driver that's, 9K and below, Eric Jones is in 20th. He's actually really good at Watkins Glen. He's got a 6.3 average finish there. He's not as good at the Roval, so that kind of turned me off a little bit. The Roval is probably it's a very similar track to what we're getting ready to see at Daytona. Because you are using the high banks, you are using part of the oval track. Watkins Glen doesn't really have an oval. You know what I'm saying? It's just more of a high-speed road course. So you've got the banking and everything, and I think the Roval is a very important track to look at. Tires from the Glen are very important, but that's about it. So I like Alex Bowman there. What we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the bottom. So I'm actually going to analyze all these drivers. I didn't even look up Quinn Houff's road course record, even if he has one. Garrett Smith is very, very subpar. His average finish is around 30-something. Timmy Hill I didn't really look at him too much. But Ryan Preece in 22nd, he's actually an interesting option. His average finish at Watkins Glen in the Xfinity Series is 13.7. He finished 21st here last year in the 47, he drove the 47 car. He's not a bad option for that cheap. I think he could get a top 20. But a driver that I'm going to go with, and I'm really shooting darts here. I'm really reaching, and I don't know if anyone else is going to go this route, but I'm going to go James Davison. So James Davison is a former Trans Am driver. I guess you could consider him. He's not really a former, but he's been running the Cup Series here lately. He's starting in 38th. He's in that Rick Ware Racing number 51. The horsepower is probably not there as much, but for him to start in 38th, he has ran the Sports Tech, I can't remember the complete name of it, but I believe it's the Sports Tech series. There's a few drivers that have ran in it in the Xfinity race today, but yeah, look for James Davison to get you at least a top 25. That would be great. I think he's capable of it. I think the car he's in is capable. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of all those Rick Ware Racing cars. If the 51 is better than the others, he's driven the 53 quite a bit this year. I think the 27 from Premium Motorsports is a little better, but I'm just thinking those lower tier. But yeah, I think James Davison, hey, if he gets a top 30, that's great. We already got Bowman as a cushion. I think it's a good reach for a tournament choice. He's not even that bad of a cash game option, and I just don't know how many people are actually going to tell that he's a road course driver. So this is his first Cup road course race, and I'm kind of throwing darts, but I really like the fact that he's ran this course quite a bit. He has the most experience out of anyone in the field, I believe. So maybe Stanton Barrett, but I don't know about that. So anyway, scrolling up here, Kaz Grala is running. Is this his first Cup race? I think so. He's driving in the 3 car for Austin Dillon as a replacement. So that's really, really high. Kaz, it's just a big leap. I don't think he'll perform all that great. He could end up parking it, like putting it in the wall. So another driver that I really like is Michael McDowell in 30th. He's at 7K, and I'm going to go with him. Sorry, my analysis is a little weird this time, but his average finish is 15th at the Roval. He's got 5 straight top 20 finishes at the Watkins Glen track. He's a pretty good road course driver, and in 30th, hey, he's got some great finishes this season. So look for him to at least get a top 15, I'm pretty sure. And now that gives me 9,800. So analyzing these drivers here, Christopher Bell, Reddick, and Cole Custer. You got Brendan Gaughan's coming back, and Brendan's actually decent at road courses. I don't know yet. I don't know if I want to go with him right there. But anyway, Christopher Bell, as his average finish is inside the top 10 in the Xfinity Series. Tyler Reddick is like the same. He's gotten second and ninth at the Roval. But a driver I like is Cole Custer. He's starting in 26. Now, I'm on the Cole Custer bandwagon here as of late. I think he's driving really well right now. And with that win, he's got a little more confidence. He's settled in. In the 26th spot, Cole Custer's average finish is 7.5 at the Roval and 8.3 at the Watkins Glen International. So, I mean, he's inside the top 9 there. You know, that's pretty awesome, and I think that he could easily get a top 10 here. He's a pretty good road course driver. Look for him to take it easy. He takes care of the equipment. So, yeah, I like Cole Custer there, whereas Christopher Bell and Reddick may go a little harder. But Brendan Gaughan, he could be a good option. Go for him if you feel like it. I feel like I've went enough risk with James Davison. I think Davison's a better value, way better value than Brendan Gaughan. So now I have an average of 11,000. I can't say that I've ever had this kind of average unless this was a restrictor plate. So yeah, I'm definitely going Ryan Blaney. I mean, why not? Ryan Blaney has a win at the Roval. His average finish is 11th at the Glen. He's just a good, decent road course driver. So I really like Ryan Blaney there. I think he could win the race. And, you know, looking for him to get me some value. Also, Brad Keselowski, he's a decent option, but the driver that I'm going with is Chase Elliott. So Chase is the best road course driver that we have on the circuit right now. He has an average finish of 7th at the Glen. He's got 2 wins there, average finish of 3.5 at the Roval. He's got a win there. He's won the last 2 Watkins Glen races, and he won the last Roval race. So, really like Chase in this event. His first Truck Series race was a win at ended up in Canada. So, he's pretty good, and in that 7th spot, that's a great value in terms of I think he's pretty automatic to get a top 5, especially if he keeps all 4 on the track. And I think Brad Keselowski and Truex are a good value. Truex is probably the second best. After that, it's kind of a toss-up. I think Chase and Truex are so far ahead of everyone else. Honestly, Bowman's running really well in road courses. I think that's a really good lineup. It's a little risky, though. Definitely a different kind of style there. We got 3 drivers that have won, and 4, and then 2 here that, I don't know. We'll see, but I really like it. I like the differential of a high-end guy or high starting position drivers, and then I have Chase Elliott, who I think will ultimately win the race. He's a good bet to win. All right, so let's clean it up here. We got Ryan Blaney at 11,000 starting in 24th. Chase Elliott starting in 7th at 10.3. And then we have Alex Bowman starting in 27th at 8.2. Cole Custer starting in 26th at 7.6. Michael Mcdowell starting in 30th at 7. And rounding out our lineup here would be James Davison starting in 38th, 5.2. So there you have it, folks. So there are a lot of ways to go with this here at Daytona, and that's what I'm rolling out. It's a lot of risk, so I really don't even know how this track's going to play out. Without watching the Xfinity race some today, we can kind of see who to go with. I kind of went off of pure road course skill. I don't think that you can miss a big opportunity if you pick just your top 6 drivers that you have there. So yeah, really pulling for James Davison. I think that will be a big pick for us. As long as he keeps all 4 on the track, I think he's pretty much a lock to get a top 25. But yeah, if you like what you see here, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We're a growing sports entertainment blog / media company, the Sports Chief. So really excited about our future here. We got NASCAR DFS stuff. We do some baseball. We do wrestling, songs of the day. You know, we try to incorporate a lot of things that you guys out there, everyone out there may like. So if you have suggestions for us, just hit us up. We'll try to do something on it. We also have a series going on about the North Carolina cities. So if you want to learn a little bit about the state that we are from, That would be pretty cool, just to see a little bit if you're a history buff. Anyway, that's what we got for the Go Bowling 235 at the Daytona Speedway road course. Yeah, it's the road course, not Daytona. Anyway, all right. So best of luck to you, and good luck this weekend at the road courses.